under 40 who are highly athletic. So they're assuming that, you know, putting all these people that even if they get it, that they'll be fine and healthy. But who knows?
What if they're compromised immune systems? Like, there's some
exactly.
pro athletes with asthma or diabetes.
It only takes one athlete to die for that to go horribly wrong. You know what I'm saying?
And a bigger question.
And like, yeah, that's better. Like, yeah, that is better than like doing it in an arena where there's 20,000 people that could die or get it and die, but still not great. Still not a great situation.
Yeah, even if you close it off to just a practice facility or just whatever, to like one spot, you can't have international games. Unless like other countries are going to give you cures, but in Europe, it's looking pretty bad. So I don't see how you can go to London, especially with the time change. My mom just got off a flight from Oakland, and like the flight was hell. So I don't see how it could be. You're gonna. It's one thing to release a schedule, but I don't see how you can have any international games this season. I don't see how that's even feasible. Even if everything calms down, there's still a flight risk. Like that virus could easily hit a second or third wave somewhere else, and you're screwed. And also, back to the draft, do you draft somebody once you get their medicals and notice, okay, are they susceptible to coronavirus because of whatever you see in their medicals? That makes, like you said, it's a crapshoot, but now it's an even bigger crapshoot. And if you look at Travis Frederick, he had to retire. They got to look for his replacement. Somebody who has like an autoimmune disease or something in their family that's dormant and they don't realize it, or they have an enlarged heart, like, and there's like the athletic large heart and then just the enlarged heart. Like, it's gonna be this schedule. Getting it finalized is one thing, but how they implement it is going to be really interesting to me. You still there, Pete? You stub your toe? Hello? Pete? Pete?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I thought you dropped the phone. I said, did you hear what I said, though?
My AirPod must have died or something. But
I said,
but yeah.
How they implement the schedule.
No, I agree with you. Like, why are you going to do the schedule when everything else is still up in the air? Like, we don't know what the venue situation is even going to be like. We don't even know if they're going to play. Like, the travel situation. Like, there's so many logistics to it that still are kind of like up in the air. Like, why are you going to set the schedule as a formality?
That's why it's like, if college football and high school football don't exist, I don't see how the NFL is going to make it.
I guess it's just to give like people something to talk about, like so they're going to have band tournaments and like a blogosphere can talk about it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why you set a schedule right now and everything's so kind of up in the air.
Do you even make another Madden game? This holds.
They're definitely going to make another Madden game.
No, but like. This holds up a lot of people's money. Like, that's why this NFL situation, definitely. Like, they have to, like, you know, they have investors. They have to be like, it's business as usual. I get that. Because there's no pressure for baseball to not start. Let's be honest. It's the off season anyway. Like, yeah, the season's supposed to start, but nobody cares about baseball until October. So if you have this going on,
pretty much.
Like, sorry, baseball's not beating football in ratings. Basketball, yeah, that was the biggest hit. And honestly, when people the NCAA and
nothing beats football ratings.
Yeah, but for this time period before the draft, it was the NBA and the XFL's time to shine, and that got taken away. And you factor in the fact that,
No, go ahead, finish.
You factor in the fact that, okay, if college football is in total disarray now. There are kids in the transfer portal right now. I see some basketball. Terrell Go. I think a couple guys are in the transfer portal. Somebody in college football from I think Virginia an SEC school in the transfer portal. Where the hell are these kids going to go? Like, colleges have just utterly gone to a halt. And now, when you look at essential workers, like college football, can you say it's an essential function of society? No. But
you would.
I mean, I would.
Essential function of your life.
I mean, as far as where the money goes and how it's appropriated and how it's flipped, it's essential. But now it's deemed not essential. How many careers are honestly possibly could be shut down and we never hear from guys? We never hear from athletes. Well, the Olympics is already canceled.
It's not just sports. It's like Hollywood. Like, how many of those people are contract workers, freelance workers that, don't have full-time gigs and benefits, and they don't know when their next call's coming? Like, what happens to those pilots that, we're still in development and production, but you can't do anything right now? Like,
plus like 5 million.
Being sold, like there's a lot of shit happening right now. Like, it's crazy.
There's like 5 million unemployment cases too.
Since we're already on the topic, why don't you go ahead and give your college football update, because you had a few things that you wanted to get to.
Bet. So there's one I'm going to just get to because I recently saw it about an hour ago. Mike Leach tweeted out a picture of a woman knitting a noose, and his players let his ass have it.
As they should, because Mike Leach has done questionable things, but nobody talks about it because he's a great coach.
Questionably racist things, crackpot things, just shit that, like, yelling out fire at a funeral, like.
He's lost the benefit of the doubt, put it that way.
Yes.
To be politically correct, at the very least, he's lost the benefit of the doubt.
People are kind of sick of his shit. So, it's the SEC, but it's like, come on, dude, a noose, you have black players. Like, he apologized for it, but it's like, when do we get to a point where, I already know the answer to this question, when do we get to a point where white people stop saying and doing racist shit and then apologizing for it? Huh?
What was the point of that? Like, I need more context. Like, what was the point of it all?
Okay, so it was a I'm reading a story from the ClarionLedger.com. It says Mississippi State football coach posts a photo with a funny caption, more days than not. He said one of his favorites was a picture of a fenced field with a sign on it that said, "Do not cross the field unless you can do it in 9 seconds because the bull can do it in 10. And he said Wednesday night's meme was not universally amusing. The picture depicted an elderly woman with knitting sticks in her hands. The caption said, after 2 weeks of quarantine with her husband, Gertrude decided to knit him a scarf. The lady was not knitting a scarf, but rather a noose. The hangman's noose was already tied. Multiple Mississippi State football players and a Mississippi State University professor took exception to the tweet, which Leach deleted. Senior linebacker Errol Thomas, who was a captain on last year's team, retweeted the original post with a hand on the chin, eyebrow raised, thinking emoji. Defensive lineman Fabian Lovett responded to the tweet with, "What the fuck?" Senior defensive end Kobe Jones, NFL prospect, by the way, responded to Lovett with, "Facts, he tripping," with a hand on the face, ashamed emoji. Margaret A. Hagerman, an assistant professor of sociology at MSU, who received a PhD from Emory University in 2014, was much more profound in her response to Leach's tweet. She said, "Lynching jokes are incredibly offensive anywhere, and especially in Mississippi." She also suggested that Leach delete the tweet and visit the National Memorial for Peace and Justice to learn about this brutal history, quote unquote. Thompson retweeted Hagerman's tweet, which was sent out at 11:41 p.m. Wednesday and deleted Thursday. Leach's tweet went out at 7:44 p.m. Wednesday. On Thursday morning, he deleted the tweet, which had more than 4,000 likes. The coach apologized for the original post with another tweet sent at 2:41 today. I sincerely regret if my choice of images and my tweets were found offensive. Leach said in the tweet, I had no intention of offending anyone. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. I think what I'm reading, it says that he's been posting memes about, social distancing and quarantine and this is one that obviously was a huge miss. But besides that, I think this ultimately just shows what happens when you go from Washington to Mississippi, because clearly I get he was trying to be funny, but
he's a public supporter of Donald Trump too.
In that context, in that state, and even the players you're talking about, obviously these are guys who are seniors and graduating out, so they probably don't know him that well. But the fact of the matter is, the joke wasn't funny. He shouldn't have made it, and especially given that he's a new coach in a new state, that's not an impression you want to leave.
But he's also a public supporter of Donald Trump, so do with that what you will.
And
the story goes on.
Timeout, what you talked about.
The story goes on to say, this is the second instance in the last 2 months in which Leach has deleted controversial tweets. In early February, Leach posted a series of critical tweets about Mitt Romney just hours after Romney was the only Republican senator to vote against President Donald Trump in his impeachment trial. Quote, as an American, does anyone really want Mitt Romney on their side? Asked Leach, a public supporter of Trump. Those that believe in the competence of Mitt Romney, what do you trust him to do? Leach asked in another deleted tweet. Leach responded to replies to his tweets that night, telling one person he would debate him on any subject on earth.
But again, that's the context of going from Washington to Mississippi. Because in Washington, you get away with that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah, in Pullman, because there's nothing in Pullman.
You can be political.
Nah, but I think if it was a noose in Washington, it would be a problem. But in Pullman, it wouldn't be.
I don't know about that.
I think Pullman, he would be protected. But yeah, he's in the deep South, tweeting shit like that, and you're a Trump supporter, and we know what Trump is about. It's there's a direct correlation to who you vote for. And
all right, let's not give this man any more time. Continue with your update.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like Mike Leach just does some weird shit every 2 to 3 days, and we find about it 2 to 6 weeks later. Okay. So, this is college football, but it's also some pro day type stuff. So Jordan Love is going to have a Zoom conference call with about 6 teams. I think the Saints were one, the Packers were one. So that should be interesting. But Hawaii receiver Cedric Byrd ran a 4.37 at the unofficial Hawaii Pro Day. It was I think it was laser timed, but he's fast. He fast. Had a great season for Hawaii to close out his college career. Went to Harbor, transfer. No, he went to Narbonne. Then I think he went to Harbor, or he might have went to Oka. I forget what JUCO he went to, but he definitely went to Narbonne, and then transferred, and then balled out at Hawaii while he was there. Ran a 4.37. So cats are starting to do more and more just pro day tapings, which is good. Pro day workouts. Jim Nagy from the Senior Bowl put out a tutorial on how to do your own pro day workout video a while back, so that was cool. Tyler Huntley, Utah pro day video, he ran a 4.56, had a 43.5-inch vertical, and was throwing it and slinging it, and his pro day looked great, so good for him. He set the Utah single-season completion record with 73%, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Is what it is. But the biggest college football news you could say is that Tua Tagovailoa said that he's pretty much 100% healed from his hip injury. He got the medical checkup and says he's 100% healthy, which kind of is interesting because there are a lot of reports